Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of concept learning with MathBuddy. We're going to be looking at factors. What do we mean by factors? So for this activity we are going to be using this instrument called thin square tiles, and we are going to use that along with this hundreds board. Okay, so if you open up thin square tiles, you'll see various square tiles of different colors, right? So what do we mean by factors? Factors are basically building blocks, right? So let's say that I want to find the factors of the number 10. So we'll take 10 tiles like this: 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can take any colors, it doesn't matter, right? So we have 10 of these tiles, right? Now, if I have these 10 tiles, let's try to arrange them in the form of a rectangle, right? So how many different ways can I form a rectangle? So one way of arranging 10 tiles is I can arrange them in a straight line, right? So even though this is not exactly a rectangle, but this is one way of arranging these 10 tiles. Right, so that's one way of arranging 10 tiles. I can also arrange them in 2 rows of 5 tiles, right? So this is another way of arranging the 10 tiles in the form of a rectangle. Is there any other way I can arrange? So let's say that I arrange only 4 tiles in each row. Then I'll be left with 2 tiles, which goes like this, right? So this does not give me a rectangle. Let's say I want to do 3 tiles, then it becomes something like this, right? So this is basically called the remainder. So it's actually, if you think about it, we are taking the 10 tiles, sharing it equally among 3 people, and there is one remainder. And in this case, we are taking the 10 tiles, sharing it equally among 4 people, and we had 2 tiles which are remaining, right? So the only way we can arrange 10 tiles is in 2 rows of 5 tiles, or I can also arrange it like this, right? So if you turn it around, you can see that I can arrange it in 5 rows of 2 tiles. So this is another way of arranging 10 tiles, and both of these things gives me rectangles, right? So the way we arranged it, there was one way where we had one single row of 10 tiles. I could have also arranged it in one column of 10 tiles. That is also exactly the same. Just like how we turned this around, you could have turned that one row of 10 tiles into one column. So what are the different ways that we could arrange it? There was, the first one was one row of 10 tiles. So we put the number of rows and the number of columns here. What was the second one? Second one was 10 rows of one tile. So it will look something like this, right? So if I had something like this, this is 10 rows of one tile. What was the third one? We arranged it in 2 rows of 5 tiles, right? So we had 2 rows of 5 tiles, and the fourth one was 5 rows of 2 tiles. These are the only ways by which we can arrange these 10 tiles so that there is no remainder, right? Now we call the sides of the rectangle as factors of this number, right? So if I arrange it in 2 rows like this, right? So the sides of this rectangle, what are the sides? I've got 2 this side, and then I've got 5 tiles in this direction. So 5 and 2 are called factors. Same way when I arrange it the other way, if I arrange it like this, then again I have 5 and 2 as factors. When I had arranged it in a straight line, right, it was basically 10 and 1 or 1 and 10. So all these numbers that we have, these are called factors of the number 10. So what are the factors? What are the unique ones that you have? You've got 1, 10, then you got 2 and 5. Okay, so these are called factors of the number 10. One thing that you can always remember, that for any number, whatever number that you choose, you can always arrange that number in the form of a straight line, right? If I take 4, then I can arrange 4 tiles in the form of a straight line. Or if it's 3, I can arrange 3 tiles in the form of a straight line, right? So for any number, 1 and the number itself are always factors. Okay, you just need to find the other factors. Let's just quickly look at one more example. Let's say I want to find the factors of the number 12. So can you try to arrange the can you take 12 tiles? So let's take 12 tiles. Here I've got 10. Let me take 2 more tiles, right? And let's try to form rectangular arrangements. What are the different ways I can arrange? So obviously one of the ways I can arrange is one row of 12 tiles. I can also arrange it in 12 rows of one tile. This is common for all the numbers. Okay. Now what are the other ways I can arrange? Okay, I can arrange it in 2 rows of 6 tiles. So I can place 6 tiles like this. Right, so I can arrange it in 2 rows of 6 tiles. And I can turn it around and say I can also arrange it in 6 rows of 2 tiles. Right. What else can I do? I can arrange this in 3 rows of 4 tiles, right? So that's another rectangle. So 3 rows of 4 tiles and again 4 rows of 3 tiles automatically, right? Is there any other way that I can arrange it? If I try to arrange it in 5 tiles in each row, so if I take and try to place 5 tiles in each row, I have 2 remainder, so that's not possible. If I try to do anything that's beyond 6, right? If I try to do 7, obviously it's not going to work, right? So these are the only possible arrangements by which I can arrange 12 tiles in the form of a rectangle. Again, the numbers that we see here are called factors. So what are the factors? Look at the unique numbers that you have. So you have 1, 12, then you have 2, 6, and then you have 3, 4. One thing that you can also notice is when you multiply these factors in each of these cases, you will be getting the number 12 back, right? I'm sure you would have observed that already. The factors of the number 12 are all the unique numbers that you have: 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, 4. So why don't you go ahead and try a lot more numbers like this, and just remember that when you are able to arrange a number in the form of a rectangle, the sides of that rectangle represent what we call as factors of that number. This is a very important concept. We'll be using this in many places going forward. So I hope you enjoyed this activity. If you have any questions, write to us at support@mathbuddyonline.com.